Okay, so we heard from Sergeant Colin Foster earlier about drone use recreationally. Okay, did you know? Were you aware that you cannot fly these things in the city? Okay, you're aware. So where are you guys testing this? Where are you guys flying this stuff?
So we have one of our members actually has a farm out by Okotoks.
Yeah.
And that is an area sufficiently away from the city where we can fly. It's a big open area. There's no people nearby, and it fits all the laws and
totally legal and the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at TV commercials, internet ads, and I see, it looks like adolescents for a lot of the time flying these drones, and they seem to be in residential settings. Am I fair to say that the message really isn't getting out as far as what responsible UAV or drone ownership looks like?
Yeah, that is true. When you buy a drone, it does not come with a manual of where you're allowed to fly it.
Do's and don'ts, right?
And most people are not aware of where you're allowed to fly it. So
do you have people that join the club that are a little confused as to, there must be a full rundown of, with the do's and don'ts. Do you guys provide, obviously, people with that information?
Yeah, for sure. If we go flying as a club,
yeah,
we definitely run everybody down on the information on what they're allowed to do and what they're not.
Do you get the hype of recreational drone use? Is there any allure for you to just fly it around for the sake of flying it around, or are you more like project-based, you want a purpose for the drone?
There's both.
Yeah.
It's both interesting to build them and to fly them around. There's a lot of skill required. It takes a while to learn. And like any sport,
yeah, that's fair.
It is quite interesting to learn.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Now, there's talk of Canada adopting U.S. laws. In the States, as is usually the case, they're a bit stricter on things before we are. They're requiring recreational drone pilots to be licensed, trained, and even have their drone registered. Is that going a little bit too far, or do you think that's not a bad idea for Canada as well in the future?
I think that's personally going a bit too far.
Yeah.
People should be made aware of the regulations that are surrounding drones, and that way they can be safe and not fly near airports.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think registration is a bit too far.
Do you think that's going to maybe dissuade people from owning a drone and enjoying a drone if they had to go through so many hoops?
Yeah, for sure. It would definitely decrease the number of people using them.
Yeah, yeah, and I also wonder about commercial use as well. Is that going to dissuade? Speaking of commercial use, like what are some of the main industries out there? The ones that come to mind for me that are utilizing drones currently would be like real estate, for example. If you're trying to maybe sell an acreage, you've got a drone shot of the property. Obviously from a distance, you can get a real good view of things. I think about surveyors, surveying land for commercial building purposes. What else? What else right now currently? What industries, I guess, are utilizing UAV and drone technology for their businesses?
So there's many industries that use them. There's a big one is delivery, as many have heard about Amazon Prime Air.
So is that happening right now in the States then?
That is not happening right now in the States because of the restrictions. You cannot make money off of drones. It is different here in Canada. You can apply for a license to be able to make money off of drones.
You cannot make money off of drones?
Yes.
You can't use them for commercial? Really?
No. In Canada you can, just not in the States.
That's bizarre.
And yeah, that is very restrictive on their drone industry. It's growing rapidly, but those laws are holding them back.
So you think that maybe, I guess, the future of drones could be dissuaded a little bit by some silly laws in place? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that is exactly how it is.
So you think that one day in Canada we will see Amazon delivering your orders right to your door?
I think that's entirely possible.
No way. That's incredible. And is this something that you want to be, personally part of for the future? Is actually developing these drones for commercial purposes? Is that kind of your passion right now?
Yeah. So we as a club, we were working on some really innovative projects.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where we want to be, at those new projects and integrating them into the industry.
So we talked about some of the characteristics earlier. I know this one, obviously, it's probably got about 3 pounds to it, I would think, maybe a little bit more. Speed-wise, how fast is this thing going to go, top speed?
This one goes maybe 30, 40 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
You get a little bit faster if you use fixed-wing planes, but the multi-rotors are typically fairly slow.
Okay, more about the hover.
Yeah.
And the hover is obtained by the accelerometer in conjunction with a gyroscope and GPS, hence the term drone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because it's essentially, it's doing its own thing to stabilize itself, and then you're just kind of controlling, the ups, downs, left, right.
Yeah, so the drone has a bunch of sensors on board,
Yeah.
kind of like your phone, how it
Yeah,
detects
yeah.
when it's tilted upside down and tilts your screen. This is very similar. It uses those sensors to keep itself stable.
Cool.
It can also use GPS to keep itself in one spot, and altitude sensors to keep itself in a certain altitude.
All that crammed into that little guy.
Yep.
That's amazing. So you say the planes are a little bit quicker. How fast are they going?
Planes vary immensely. They can go from 40 kilometers an hour for trainer planes,
Wow.
up to 200 kilometers an
So
hour.
so that's
faster.
that's considered UAV and not a drone itself. There's a difference between the two.
They're very similar.
Okay.
Drones are typically referred to as the quadcopters with multiple rotors,
Okay, gotcha.
whereas UAVs also include planes and.
But they would have the
bigger.
similar tech, the stabilizing tech and whatnot.
Yeah. They're all very similar.
So is that what I'm seeing on these YouTube videos, the drone racing that I see with these things whipping around a South Korean football stadium? It looks like that's the plane version.
No, those are the
Those are these guys.
quadcopters. Exactly.
Wow.
Like this one, this is one of the type of racers.
Oh
that,
wow. Okay.
that you see, and they go pretty fast,
Yeah.
and they're very hard to control and get through the hoops.
So it's a real skill. So that's what it is.
It
Right?
is.
Just for our
It
viewers that
is.
aren't familiar, these things are buzzing through essentially hula hoops,
Yes.
for lack of a better term, at a high rate of speed and trying to outdo each other as they zip around, much like a NASCAR race, I guess.
Yeah, it is very similar to that. And if they hit something, the destruction is pretty severe, and they usually have to rebuild the drone entirely.
Yeah, a lot of money down the tubes, just like a race car, I guess.
Yeah,
Do you think it's a
yeah.
sport that's going to gain a lot of popularity moving forward?
I think so, for
Yeah?
sure. There's countries like the United Arab Emirates that are holding big competitions nowadays with $1 million prizes.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. We're almost out of time, Romus. Real quick, how can people help you guys out? How can they help out Schulich UAV as far as sponsorship components? I mean, what are you guys looking for, and how can people get involved?
So we're actually looking for both sponsors and donors right now.
Okay.
They can go to our website, and we have links there to our sponsorship package,
Okay.
both for the competition and for the workshops that we host.
All right.
They can support us and give us money for doing these projects and reaching out to the community.
And then I would think a component level as well. You guys could probably always use, some of these components from local stores or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, we buy a lot of local components, a lot of.
So it's not just a
Online
cash initiative. I mean, you guys will
Yeah.
you'll take the support that you can get. It sounds like.
Yeah, a lot of money goes back into the community.
Cool.
And a lot of it goes to developing new technology.
Got your bases covered. What's the website, real quick, for
The
everybody?
website is www.schulichuav.com.
SchulichUAV.com. We're going to throw it up on our
Yeah.
Facebook page as well, and yeah, help you guys get the word out.
Perfect.
Romus,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Folks, that is all the time we have for today. As per usual, you can get at us on Facebook. We're also on Twitter. Don't be a stranger. Until next time, take care.